Welcome to your Solar Sensei channel, where we give you the great tidbits that you probably needed and you didn't understand. Viewer discretion is advised, as my language might elevate to a level of uncertainty and indecency. God, viewer, just, you might not like the context of some of the things I might say. Like, leave a comment, subscribe, share, critique. I'd just like to hear from some of you guys. So you just press the buttons, and I'll see you on the battlefield. Welcome back to your Solar Senseis channel. Solar Sensei channel. I am your Solar Sensei, here to bring you some beautiful, wonderful, and amazing tidbits, right? To the Boruto, to Blue Vortex, manga, and hopefully anime, right? Just saying. Now, being that I created a playlist called the Shinju Residency, I felt like it was necessary for me to at least backtrack on some of the characters that were turned into Shinju, right? And today, I'll be starting with Moegi Kazamatsuri, alright? Ironic, right? Very ironic, because her name is Moegi Kazamatsuri, and her Shinju counterpart was named Matsuri. Some of you guys would like to call her fine shit, and others would like to just call her Harley Quinn. But in any other case, right? Matsuri, Moegi, what's really going on right now, right? I feel like once the divine tree is taking the chakra of somebody, they're necessarily their chakra is necessarily kept, right? So just like how Jura said, if I end up finding it, you will see it on the screen. But just like Jura, I'm gonna kind of head canon. I'm gonna go off the head with what he said, right? All the data and information on this planet has been consumed by the divine tree, dead or alive. So you could take your imagination with that one and run that way with it, right? But no. I'm gonna start with Moegi, right? Maybe somebody's fan favorite. We watched her grow up in the Naruto Shippuden Naruto series, and now she's the team leader of Team 10, who is not a Sarutobi. No, wait, how does it go? A Sarutobi usually teaches the Inashikacho trio, but what's more odd about this is the fact that she is a potential holder of the wood style jutsu. Kind of one of the external elements that are used, right? Because if we talk about like metal, like if it was like Avatar Last Airbender, it would be like, well, metal bending, if somebody could use metal. But I mean, the metal is necessary in the Naruto universe as just a chakra adherent, or a chakra taking, chakra conduit type thing, you know what I mean? But anyways, Moegi has the potential to use wood style because she's a earth and water style user. I'm sorry. And the fact that she's like the closest thing to using wood style is what I want to also take from this, because in her counterpart Matsuri, right, she was able to sense through the roots, right? She was able to sense through the roots. She was also able to form, or it seemed like she was able to form the bodies of the Shinju themselves, right? From the thorn soul bulb, right? So I want to just keep reiterating that, because I will make sure I go double check, but if I'm not mistaken, the cube is supposed to do the work. But if they're all connected, then Jura should still be able to recreate more Shinju. If it doesn't take Matsuri to control the roots and create a Shinju itself. So like that's kind of like a little theory of mine, like how are the Shinju even specifically formed? Does it take somebody of like a maternal figure or an actual molder of to create the Shinju in their forms that they're taking, right? They're taking people's chakra, like I said, and like I said, another like petrifying them, a state of petrification, right? But it just seems that she is somewhat more significant than the other Shinju based on the fact that she was able to not only, like I said, sense through the roots, but form the claw grimes into the Shinju themselves with more definition, right? Because they're taking chakra, molding it to what we obviously know would be the tree cells, right? The tree cells can turn a human's DNA into white Zetsu DNA, which is now a part of the divine tree, but possibly with some Otsutsuki sprinkled in there, but that's another video. What I want to specifically try and talk about is Matsuri still around? Can she still be a part of Moegi's mind, right? Because the impact they have within themselves, right, with just Matsuri kind of already knew who Konohamaru was talking about, right? How does she already know without Moegi possibly peering through her vision to see this happening, right? Or acknowledging that this is going on. So Matsuri would be having an internal conflict, And this is kind of like a continuing thing that I see in not theme, not thing, plot, none of that stuff. It's just a continuing, like something that's continuously being shown in the manga series is like two souls inhabiting one body. You got Boruto, you got Himawari, and you got the Shinju. You got the Karma Seal's whole spew itself, right? And then you have Jinchuriki, right? Something we've all been aware of, right? But the concept of being a Jinchuriki seems to be derived of, or just sealing itself, right? Just sealing something inside of you itself is already a derivative of the Karma Seal. So Fuin Jutsu and the Karma Seal seem to be hand in hand. This is why the Byakugo Seal, something that is like, it has, I don't know if they mentioned it being a pinnacle of sealing. I don't think that's it. You know what I mean? I'm just kind of like going off the head right now. Oh, excuse me. It is 10:08. So, but it was about 8 minutes ago. So it was 10 o'clock, December 5th, 2025, 63 degrees in my garage. And welcome, like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Leave a comment. If you don't leave a comment, if you like it, if you don't like it, you're still a beautiful person. Just remember that. Wake up every day and breathe that great air. Continuing, right? So, Moegi, like I said, potential to use wood style jutsu. Matsuri uses the wood style jutsu in her own specific way, just like any other person who adheres to the the god tree's abilities. Madara, Obito, shit. If I want to be funny, Kaguya and Momoshiki shit. I mean, fuck, I don't. It's kind of like a because I like to be funny and like, why are their horns different colors than Kinshiki, Madara, So, but anyways, if unsealing Moegi only left her with a depletion of chakra, meaning that over time, like I think it was also said that somebody would die inside of the divine tree over time. I don't know if it was said or if the community has said it itself, right? Uh, let's see, man. I think I want to maybe go into the fact that her sensory was so profound, also stated by Jura, because she had her own capability of sensing, her own sensory ability, which had to been derivative from the wood style that she was given, right? Because she was already a potential user. So, if she was already a potential user, and her ability in being Matsuri was to sense through the roots, why couldn't she pull the divine tree out? Why couldn't she pull the roots from the ground? I'm gonna keep going. Uncontrollable until she met Konohamaru, until she got in front of Konohamaru and received rejection. She was pure love, right? Just like Jura said, everything was good, and then when she was denied, it seemed like her instincts took over in a more defined, like, okay, I wanted to just like be here with you, like this was cool. Maybe I might get a claw grime to turn you into Konohamaru-chan, you know what I'm saying? The Konohamaru-chan I want, right? Maybe I'll get a claw grime to bite you. Why she didn't do that either, I don't know. But it just shows the tier and levels of who the Shinju are themselves. Like, if she wasn't able to pull out the roots, nor Hidari, nor... Oh, we don't know about Mamushi yet. Hell, not even... not even Ryu. Lord, and I'll get on him in one of my upcoming videos. I'll be getting on him, but nah, I mean, there's a lot of things that Matsuri didn't display, maybe because of emotion. So if she was under an emotional effect that was also affecting Jura, she was under an effect so deep that when she was broken out of it, Jura treated them like he had received exactly what he needed from them. That perspective, that sight, that way of living. Because either Jura's perception is forever growing, or it's already something there that's leading him to that thought, right? The chakra, the memory, the this, the that, the yada yada. You get what I'm saying, right? Now, if she was able to break down and it affect Jura in such a stout way, just like when Ryu's love for Shinki's love for the, I'm just gonna say this real quick, right, before I even make that video. Shinki's love for Gaara is strictly the parent, like, this is my father, knowing that he is also the Kaze Kage, and he's trying to leave that title to me. I view him as the ultimate, right? Something like Kawaki, right? Kawaki is kind of almost obsessive, but I don't think Shinki's like completely obsessive, but I think it's more of a, like, this is my duty, my demand, I have to, this is what I'm supposed to do. But bringing it back to Matsuri, right? Her love for Konohamaru is like this is my longtime friend. Like, I've grown up with this person. We've watched each other grow, and I love this person. I've found myself to love this person, which became so heartbreaking. It makes Jura cry because he feels her emotions because they're connected via 10 tails, and there's a whole lot going on, right? But when we get to her being released, her saying Konohamaru-chan so regularly, is it because she knows that does she know that Matsuri went through this with Konohamaru and he lied and abused that emotion, those thoughts, right? Which would mean that either somehow, just like my theory I'm trying to point out is just looking at their body language and the way they're trying to write that, it seems like, somebody else is aware inside of Moegi of what's going on, or Moegi is now aware of what happened between him and Matsuri, right? Which is why I'm trying to say, like, maybe Matsuri's still alive. Maybe Matsuri's still inside of Moegi Kazamatsuri's head, observing and trying to prepare, or maybe not even trying to prepare. It's more of like, oh God, Will in Stranger Things, right? You're being pulled by the upside down. It's calling you, this other side, you know what I mean? And next thing you know it's like, what do you choose, or what do you believe, or is this now Jura has a different result because of what happens instead of not saving them, right? Because imagine if Jura would have took that love and saved Matsuri and Ryu. Could he have been able? But maybe it's because Matsuri died and he couldn't bring nobody back in the first place. There was no point. I'd rather just go fight Boruto. Up in the air. You know what I mean? It's up. It's up there. You know what I mean? In the air. In the wind. If it hits me, it hits me. But yeah, man. I think this shit is wild, right? Because she had enough emotional control over Jura. And like I'm saying, if the emotions and sensory capabilities are so strong within Matsuri, who's to say that doesn't transfer back to Moegi in whatever form, right? We can speculate on Sasuke, shit. We can fucking speculate on Bug, really. But in reality, a lot of this has to do with Jura. And yeah, I don't want to keep focusing on the big bad motherfucker in the story, but I mean that's kind of what I want to majorly lay out, because if Jura was to just go through the route of absorbing an Otsutsuki, it power begets power, and just more, he's just gonna be stronger and stronger, you know what I mean? But okay, so now I'm gonna speak on this part real quick. If Ada gets consumed by Mamushi, which I don't believe that's Mamushi, because Mamushi is over here already almost burning everything down, right? If Ada doesn't get bitten and eaten by Mamushi or whatever, and he transforms right there on the spot, then that's a claw grime that bit her, and we are gonna get a new Shinju, right? Because somebody has to be able to create more Shinju in the forms that need to be taken. Up in the air, like I said, it's up in the air, dude. I mean, it's a tough bout. It's just a tough bout, you know. It's just a tough bout, tough thing. Hopefully the story lays it out in a beautiful way, because right now the invasion could be critical. It could be critical. It could be so critical to where uncalculated events on Amato and Jura's side could be very, very detrimental to Boruto. Just Boruto. Not even Kawaki. Just Boruto. Well, oh, Kawaki's a lie and this and that. It's just Boruto. It's just Boruto's death. Impending doom. But yeah. Like, comment, subscribe, share. I appreciate you guys. If you didn't watch it, you didn't like it, you didn't subscribe, you didn't share, you're still a beautiful person. Hey, algorithm, bump me up a little bit. And catch you guys on the battlefield. Peace the fuck out.